Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring, snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells time and jingle bell time, dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in the one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle in the jingling feet, that's the Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell chime and jingle bell time, dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in the one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingling feet, that's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell Rock.
Hey guys, welcome to a special edition of Coturnix Corner Live. This is our Christmas Eve special. I figured we'd go ahead and go live tonight as one of the last Tuesday live streams of the year. And me and my wife are just kind of hanging out here at the house. And I thought, you know what, let's go live because I don't know what everybody else is doing, whether they're, off at a party or whatnot with family, or if they're just hanging out at the house like we're doing. So I thought we'd go ahead and go live because it is our regular Tuesday evening live stream, and we'd make it kind of a Christmassy special type of a deal. What we are doing is I sent out an invite to a bunch of guests that we've had on the show before, and invited them to come in on the show. Some of them said that they could make it. Some of them couldn't, obviously because they've got other plans for the evening, and I can fully understand that. But what I'm going to do is I want to put a link in the chat room. And if you want to come on the show and just, hang out and talk and share your, what's going on with you and everybody, in the chat room. The link's there. It's real easy. Just follow that link. Give the app permission to use your camera and your phone, or your camera and your microphone. And the rest of it's pretty simple from there on out. Just follow the directions. It basically wants your name and whatnot. So, yeah, if you want to come on the show and say hi to everybody, and there's no special real topic tonight. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we can talk about. And we'll take it from there. We do have one guest here already signed in. That's Carrie Blackman from Double R Farms. How you doing, Carrie? Glad you could join us, buddy. Appreciate it.
I'm good. Good to be on here. And, I'm excited that tomorrow's Christmas. Got a house full of people.
Sure.
So things are going really good here.
Good deal. Yeah, I'm glad you could join us tonight. Really appreciate it. Like I say, anybody else in the house that wants to come on, go ahead and follow that link. Aaron, you're more than welcome. Anita Garrett, you're more than welcome. Andy Rabbit, anybody that's in there. It doesn't really matter. If you want to come on the show for a little bit and say hi to everyone, we appreciate it. So what I want to talk about, or what I've been thinking about for myself, is as far as what are the plans coming up for 2025, what I'm going to be doing next year. And I've really been thinking about that a lot as far as, the channel goes. new videos that I want to start working on, live streams that I want to get going. I really want to start pushing the Coturnix Kids project because I think that's a really good opportunity for the kids. I did do a short video, kind of talking a little bit about it to hopefully draw a few more people into that. Before I get going too far here, though, let me give a quick shout out to the sponsors of the Coturnix Corner channel. HP Murray from Gopher Ridge Quail. He donates hatching eggs to give away pretty much at every live stream. And Hatching Time, they donate a $50 Hatching Time gift certificate. And also, let me give a quick shout out to our sponsors of the Coturnix Kids program. Wholesome Harvest, they supply a 40-pound bag of feed for the kids. Southern Biophiliac and Big Spring Quail supply hatching eggs to give away to the kids. Bryant's Roost gives us an incubator. And Pips and Chicks and Champions Blend, which is Terry Blackman, donate a gift certificate, Tractor Supply gift certificate to get the kids started. And then also Hatching Time, they supply a
Cage.
a 2-unit layer cage for the kids. So that's really much appreciated. So Terry, tell us what are your plans for 2025?
So I've been cooking up a lot. I have gotten really heavy into quail feeders. Growing a lot of birds. We've been working with our birds to get them large, jumbos that are really jumbo, and we're doing. There's an untapped market out there. We're doing a lot of feeders and a lot of balut, as well as we shipped out several. I know it was double-digit thousands hatching eggs last year. I haven't finished counting everything out. We stopped shipping them. I had one customer that said, "I'm not going to hatch them. I want them for something else. Just please go ahead and ship them." So we shipped them out last week. But I really don't like shipping stuff out at Christmas time because you can't depend on the post office. But we're actually putting together a order for Hatching Time, one of our sponsors, to help with those projects. I'm gonna put it in before December 31st is over, so I can write it off this year instead of next year to get an early start. But it's things have been growing really well. I haven't been very active on social media with stuff, but we're making our own feed that we feed to both our chickens and our quail. We've been working really diligently with that and got some recipes that really help the quail reach their genetic potential. So we've been doing that, and I am actually looking for more property so I can build a larger barn, because the 2 barns that I have now are just not enough.
Wow. That's crazy.
So,
I take it that's what Champions Blend is your feed company?
Yes, Champions Blend, the feed company. I started that out working with Jeff from Portrayal, just trying to get, hey, I want some recipes that'll do this and do this and do that. And then, a lot of people want it. So now I found myself shipping those blends all over the country. We had 4 tons go out to California last week. So
impressive.
It's kept me pretty busy.
Good deal. I see Jennifer just popped in here. Hi, Jennifer.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Did you by any chance see the new opener?
I didn't. I was feeding the dogs.
Okay. Now I kind of did a little bit of editing on it today to kind of bring it up to date with some people, that have been on the show lately. So we're going to play it again at the end of the live stream just to kind of close it out so you can watch it then.
Okay.
So what we're doing, Jennifer, right now, I was just talking to Carrie, finding out what his plans were for 2025. Do you want to expand on your plans for 2025? Let us know what's going on with Brian True.
My plan is to hold on and ride through the chaos this spring. It's
That's
almost
right.
here.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all you can do. There's a point where all you do is hold on and wait for summer.
Yep. Any special breeding projects coming up? Or?
I mean, the only thing that I really have done is the everybody's calling it the barred rock quail,
Mm-hmm.
which I mean, I'm not a huge genetics person. I just like kind of cut and dry stuff. So this guy popped up, and they're really really pretty and striking and big. They're big birds, and so I was like, well, I think I'll see if I can replicate that, and sure enough, it
Mm-hmm.
did, and now it's its own thing. So
Cool. Are they breeding pretty regular now? I mean, are you producing them pretty regular?
yeah.
Because I only got out of the 4 eggs you sent me, I didn't get any to hatch.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So yeah, I've got 5 breeding groups now.
Okay,
So
cool.
and then I've got several growing out that'll be laying probably within the next few weeks. So it's a slow process, but it's it picks up, and then all of a sudden you're overrun with birds again.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know
Mhm.
how that goes.
Mhm.
All right. You guys want to? If anybody in the chat room's got any questions for either of our guests, go ahead and comment. If you would, type the letter Q in front of your question, and if it's for a specific guest, um, go ahead and write their name down after it, and we'll address those. Um, we don't have a whole lot of people in here right now, so let me go ahead and just recognize who's in the chat room real quick. We got All Out of Spoon says Merry Christmas Eve, y'all, and Merry Christmas to you too. Get Russ Family Farm says Merry Christmas, Quailers. Glad you could join us, Aaron. I believe that's Aaron.
It could be Aaron or it could be his wife. Either one.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know which one it is. So let's see. Fig Tree Farm says Merry Christmas to you all from Fig Tree Farm in snowy New Hampshire. Yeah, I think the Northeast is getting hit really hard over Christmas weekend or week. Jason says Merry Christmas to everyone. And Jason's in here from Virginia. Anita Garrett's in the house. Says Merry Christmas, everyone. Glad you could join us, Anita. Anita, if you want, go ahead and copy that link that I posted and join us here on the live. Be happy to have you. Joy Guthrie says Merry Christmas from Western Oregon. And there's Andy Rabbit's in the house. Says Merry Christmas. Dragon Girl's in the house. Says Merry Christmas. Grifey 2, Merry Christmas from PNW. Where's that? What's PNW? Anybody know?
That's the Pacific Northwest. Yeah.
Okay. Figured it out after a minute. Dee says hello from Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas, where we got lots of rain today. My 35 young jumbo browns just started laying yesterday. Incubators full of eggs. That's always a good thing. Redbeard Rebel says Merry Christmas from South Louisiana. Mark says hi from Missouri. Oh boy. Trangono says Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. Here's the link, guys. If anybody wants to call into the show. Oh, I see we do got Aaron in the house. Hold on, let me bring Aaron in here. Aaron, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. Glad you could join us.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, we've been talking about what's going on for 2025. You want to kind of touch on that for what's going on with your farm?
Just trying to survive. I think the illness bug has hit our house pretty hard. I think we're all sick.
Oh no.
Yeah. I got a few projects coming up. Few more jumbos I'm working on, and like Carrie, the feeder stuff. We converse about that a lot.
We are working on the new, everybody knows that every year we do a recommended breeders list. And I believe everybody that's on the stage right now is on that list. So we'll have a little bit of an update on them right after the first of the year. It's usually when I release that video. Let's see who else is in there. D says, we don't have a life besides quail activities. I hear you. Orlando says, hello, everyone. Aaron says, the famous Carrie Blackman.
Huh.
Andy Rabbit says hello, Carrie. Gary's in the house, says hello. Andy Rabbit says hello, Aaron. Theodore's Family Farm says, hey, Andy. I am saying your last name correct, and I.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a tough one, but you got it.
Well, I butcher a lot of names. I'm never good at that. Gary says, any tips on what to do about a red-tailed hawk bothering my birds? All right, you guys, we'll start with you, Carrie.
I know what I did, but I do not recommend it. So I will say find you some large black chickens to free range, some turkeys to free range, or get you a good livestock guardian dog.
Okay, cool. What about you, Jennifer? What are your thoughts on that?
I have 4 LGDs. I do not have a predator problem. Not even from the aerial side.
I'll tell you right now, if you go to Jennifer's house and her LGDs don't recognize you, you better
You're in
hope
trouble.
that her or her husband show up quick.
Yeah, I went in the dark.
They don't even like two-legged predators.
What about you, Aaron? What do you do for
I would make sure, I'm going to assume that your cage is outdoors. I would make sure that they are extremely predator proof and not chicken wire. Then, like everyone else, get something. I mean, not everyone can have a livestock guardian dog, so maybe like a cat or something, or chickens, like Jennifer said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's something. But I would definitely make sure the cage is secure. Chicken wire is not secure.
Yeah, I was surprised. I've got quite a few red shoulder hawks around here and bald eagles, and I was always leery about putting my birds outside, but knock on wood, I've never had an issue. They've never really messed with them. I think they're eating the wild pigeon population or something. I don't know. No, knock on wood, I've been lucky in that fashion. See, Carrie says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Grife B says, an owl statue, talking to Gary.
I have an owl statue. It just keeps getting knocked over.
Yeah, I had a hawk land on the owl statue.
Yeah, so much for that. 340 Quail Farm says, hey, everyone, Merry Christmas. Let me make sure there's nobody else waiting to come in. Okay. 20 Warchild 20 says, hi, oh. Woodtick 1970s in the house. Good evening from Winter Haven, Florida. Here's a question for Carrie. Fig Tree Farm says, Carrie, what day do you incubate your balut? Do you refrigerate them right away after pulling them?
Yeah, so I answered that in the comments, but it really depends. I have a lot of customers that have specific what they want. A lot of the Asians that I market to know the process, but usually it's somewhere between 12 and 14 days, depending on what they request, is what works for me. I only refrigerate them if they request that, because a lot of them will actually take the balut. They'll take them home and set them on their counter and eat them over the next couple of days. The holiday season, there's a lot because they will have them for celebrations. But some customers want them frozen and shipped. Some customers want them non-refrigerated, and some want them refrigerated. So whatever they want, that's what we do.
What's your biggest market for balut?
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's the nail salons.
Yep, I figured that was gonna be it.
And being in Birmingham, we got a lot of them.
Yeah. Andy Rabbit says, hello, Jennifer. Jason says, looking forward to getting the bards. I take it that's from you, Jason.
They're coming, slowly but surely.
Yeah. D says, feast or famine. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Thompson says, Merry Christmas to you. What are we at here? Woodtick says, put my first hatch in lockdown today. Cool. Hope you get a good hatch. He says, Debbie Walker here, Swinging Quail Farm in Arlington, Texas.
I still remember my first hatch.
Oh, me too. It's funny because I get excited now as I did back then on the day of the hatching. So I don't know why. I've hatched. I can't even count how many times I've built an incubator, but
It's the
I
chirping
still get
sound,
excited.
man.
Yeah,
That chirping
Yeah.
sound never gets old.
yeah, I
No,
guess so.
I was in there today and I was sitting on my stool resting for a minute and I hear chirping and I was like, did I leave something in the incubator? And I'm rolling around listening to my incubators.
Yep.
Looking at the painter's tape to see what date, checking the day.
I'm gonna have to get me some more. I need some for Christmas.
A roll of painter's tape.
I use a lot of it.
Is that to write down your hatch date or your lockdown date?
Everything in my barn has painter's tape on it, and then when it loses its sticky, I put more painter's tape over the top of it to hold it on.
Take another piece. Man, that stuff is so handy.
But yes, it has what it is, what project it is, the hatch date, the set date, and it gets moved from the set tray to the brooder to the grow out cage. It gets moved a lot.
Let's see. Andy says it's always Aaron unless otherwise stated. Okay.
Yeah, we never see what Christina. We need to see her every once in a while.
I keep her hidden.
Is she the camera operator?
Yeah, she's mostly the camera operator, and she does all the plant stuff.
Yeah, I seen on your live stream. It sounded like she was behind the camera and doing all that stuff. So, Dave says, question: how did you get started with creating your feed lines? Well, we got 2 feed lines in there. You want to take that first, Aaron?
I think he might be asking for actual feed. I don't do feed.
That would
Yeah,
be Carrie then. Okay,
yeah.
Carrie.
So, I mean, for me, I don't have access to really good feed locally, and I found myself mixing a lot of this and a lot of that and a whole lot of other stuff. And my ADHD brain ran down a rabbit hole one day, and I found myself in a deep conversation with Jeff. Next thing I know, I'm getting some recipes, and I'm trying them out. Then I'm buying the meal, and I mean, it went from there. But it's like, why mix all this stuff together when you can just open the bag and feed it?
Sure.
So
how much feed are you producing, say, in a month?
Not a lot. 10, 15 tons on average.
Not a lot. Sounds like a lot to me.
I mean,
Whoa. Do you ship?
Yeah.
He delivers too.
Actually, I shipped two single bag orders yesterday morning on my way out.
Really?
And if you're willing to pay for a single bag, I'll ship it to you. Mm-hmm. And I think the largest order that I shipped so far to a single place was 4 tons. And yeah, like Jennifer said, I deliver.
The best, I mean, the only reputable feed that we can get around here would be Kalmbach. Otherwise, you're stuck with the lower end stuff or Purina, and I don't really care for Purina. All right, Big Tree Farms in the houses. It was 2 degrees Monday in New Hampshire. No, thank you.
Keep that.
Yeah, that's cold.
Where are you at, Aaron?
South Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
Extreme south. I probably have the same climate as you. Okay. 50 degrees is cold for us.
Yep, that's it. Jennifer Bryant says hi. Andy, he says, I tried growing teff and millet to feed quails. I've never tried any of that stuff. Bill says, white Christmas here in the PA mountains, coating of snow.
Yeah, it's pretty nice in Pennsylvania right now.
It's like William Foster's in the house. Is Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all. William, why don't you grab that link that I posted and join us on the live stream here? Maury Straubel's in the house. Is Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, Maury. Bob Cole says Merry Christmas all. D says peafowl work for predators.
I think turkeys would too. Anything large.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, ever since I can't have an LGD where I'm at. And so ever since I have a couple of black Jersey Giants and a rather large Rhode Island Red, you know, they go wherever they want to around the property. Ever since that, I've even noticed a decrease in raccoons.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have emus and a chihuahua.
Oh, God, not the deadly chihuahua.
The chihuahua's a rat hunter.
Oh, yeah. Anita
It's
Garrett
cute.
says, I'd love to join. However, I'm on a mobile and there's a lot of background noise with the kids going on here in the house this evening. Not a problem, Anita. I'm just glad you could join us. All clean exteriors in the house says Merry Christmas. Andy Rabbit says chicken wire is only good for holding in a chicken in, but only if it wants to stay in.
Yep.
Rebel says Merry Christmas, everyone. Wade's Farmstead's in the house says Merry Christmas, everyone. RK says Merry Christmas. Leah is in the house says Merry Christmas. Blazingale, how fun Christmas Eve live. Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah, it was kind of a last minute thing. Actually, somebody asked me if we were going live tonight, and I'm like, no, I don't think so. Then I thought about it a little bit, and I'm like, you know what? Why not? Just give us people that have nothing else better to do.
Yeah.
Well, my grandkids are sick, so we had to put Christmas off until Saturday.
Oh, that's been
Yeah.
good.
So that's why I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, I invited, I don't know, I sent the email out to probably 15 or so people, and or not the email, but the message. And I didn't think I'd get a very good response from it, just being Christmas Eve. So D says Bryant feed is the best that we've found for cost. 50 pounds for $17. Layer mash or crumbles. It's a local brand from Aledo, Texas. Okay. I thought Jennifer was getting into feed after seeing the name there.
No.
Andy says, yeah, rub it in, Aaron, 50 degrees.
Yeah, it was I think 73 today.
Well, that's nice. I don't know what we hit. I think we were right around there, 73, 75, something like that. Oh, let's see, where am I here? Teff was too tiny and leggy. Millet was partially successful. Lamb quarter is best success to grow. Anybody else understand that comment? I'm kind of lost on this.
He was talking about growing the teff and the millet.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how it worked out.
Bill says, who made deviled quail eggs for Christmas? Not me, LOL.
I haven't eaten a quail egg in months.
Me either.
I don't have anyone laying.
I stay sold out.
Popping in here. Hey, William.
How you doing, Terry?
Pretty good. How you doing? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
You too. I'm assuming you know everyone else here.
Know of. I don't really know them. A lot of new faces.
Oh, yeah. Always new faces. Cool. Glad you could join us, William.
Thanks for the invite.
What's your plans for 2025?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you. I'd like to work some white wings and maybe some of the Oz stuff, but just a small group, nothing like before.
Yeah, for those of you in the chat room that don't know, William is a longtime breeder. He's brought in some of the rare colors that we have in the country. He sent me a ton of birds that I wish now I'd have hung on to. Or not a ton of birds, but a ton of hatching eggs. So yeah, William's been around for a while. Let's see, more on 44% supplement contains high-quality animal proteins for muscle and feather development, designed to be mixed with your own horn balanced to meet the nutrient needs for a variety of poultry. I don't know anything about that. Carrie, you know,
Yeah, so that is a breeder supplement that probably has 44% protein, has a high quality animal proteins like fish meal is what's most commonly used. Me personally, the supplement that I make is we use sardine fish meal that comes from a place in Mexico, and it has that, and we use a amino acid called cysteine that highly promotes feather development, to the point that cysteine is actually used in humans. A lot of humans will take it, especially women that are like into beauty pageants and things like that, to try to have thicker, prettier, more lustrous. I don't know if I said that word right. Hair.
Yep.
We have found by doing a lot of research that it has the same effects in poultry, and so we've got some breeders that are using that and mixing it in with their feed, and seeing some pretty good results in the way their birds look.
Cool. Very cool. Dave B wants to know if there's any good Cajun quail recipes. Let's see, Aaron, you're down there in Cajun country.
Well, personally, our favorite at home is we'll take the deboned breasts, batter them in Louisiana fish fry, and deep fry them.
Cool, that sounds good. And the only way I've really had them is barbecued, and my wife, she'll fry them like the legs and stuff. We'll take the legs off and deep fry them. I love them that way. To me, they're like chicken nuggets, but I think barbecued is probably my favorite.
Yeah, they just cook so fast, so it's so easy.
Oh, yeah.
Quail nuggets.
You haven't used none of that honey you got to glaze any of them?
Yeah, I glaze them with like ribs and the quail honey glaze with a little barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
I wonder if
I've done it on the barbecue sauce. Yeah, I've mixed honey in with I'll buy honey barbecue sauce, then add a little bit of my honey to it.
Yeah, it's pretty good, huh?
Oh, it's delicious.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to kind of restart on my bees. I lost all the bees that I purchased. I lost. They ended up dying off for some reason. So I went out last year and I set about a half a dozen swarm traps and caught 4 swarms, and they're doing great. I'm not treating them. I'm not doing anything to them other than letting them be bees, and they're doing fabulous. I did an inspection, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and the queens are still laying. There's good populations. So hoping for another good year. Let's see. Andy Rabbit says, I'm not sure how warm it was here today, but I didn't need to wear a jacket. That's good. Blazing Gale says, I've got some GRQ Egyptians hatching right now. Will be a fun Christmas morning. What's GRQ? Does anybody know? Yes, no, I don't either.
Well, go for a ridge quail.
There you go.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I was going to say great.
I don't think HP intended it as that, but I mean that's what I gather.
Yep, no, good call. And it says I don't have any lights on my quail, so I don't have any or many eggs. I don't have any eggs. I'm not putting lights on them either yet. Okay, let's see. D says there's a guy that buys Overrun from a local feed store just west of Fort Worth, and it's $12 for 50 pounds, but you have to go once a month or so and load yourself. No brand name on the sacks. Okay.
I mean, I'll say this: if you're too scared to put your name and contact address on it, then number one, that's in violation of federal agriculture laws, and number two, there's no way I would feed that to any of my animals. If you won't claim it, I wouldn't feed it.
Looks like Anita Garrett's joining us today. Hi, Anita. Anita, can you hear us? Looks like Anita Garrett's joining us today. Hi, Anita.
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Pretty good.
So, Anita, what's the plans for AJ Farms LLC for 2025? I don't know if she's not hearing me or what. Are you there, Anita?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay. What are your plans for AJ Farms LLC for 2025?
We're going to be working on some more record keeping stuff and probably some educational stuff. And work on the brown line that we have.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Our case is Kalmbach feeds 50 pound, 44%. Poultry supplement is a supplement formula for the further manufacture of poultry feeds designed to be mixed with your own corn. Okay. I didn't know Kalmbach had anything like that. Dee says we eat quail eggs almost every day and the double yolker chicken eggs from my Morans. Yeah, I've got to get my, we matter of fact went to the store today and spent $6 for 18 chicken eggs. And I'm like, I've got to get my quail laying. That's ridiculous.
Wow, I got 30 chicken eggs today.
From your birds, of course. Bill says, I bought chicken eggs for the first time in 2 years to make a lemon cake. Just put the light on my quail to get eggs soon. Yep, I think we're in the same boat. He says, honey glaze, honey, olive oil, soy sauce, minced onion, minced garlic, super yummy. Sounds good. Lazy Gale says, it's sad Walmart was completely out of stock for eggs, and yet I can't sell my eggs for $3 a carton because people think Moran eggs are blue or green eggs and must have something wrong with them.
Oh wow!
I prefer a colored egg over a white egg. I don't know why. But
I was gonna say that is not the case in Central Alabama.
really,
When I was selling eggs to people, I would only sell them for $3 a dozen if they were buying 10 or more dozen.
right.
I've been able to get 7 and 8, but I don't have any layers that are just for layers. I just have breeders right now.
I would raise your price. If it's too cheap, people won't buy them.
Yeah. Promised Land Homestead says Shalom from Missouri. And Blaze the Gale says yes, go for each quail. I've just never seen it, and I'm glad Aaron figured that one out. I've just never seen it abbreviated like that. 340 Quail Farm says, question, with regards to tracking birds, do you track age, generations, genetics? Is it by the cage or individual birds? What are your preferred methods? We'll go around the clock. Harry, we'll start with you.
The short answer is yes. Depending on the project, I will wing band and track age, generation, genetics, those things. When it comes to breeding and hatching eggs, I will typically narrow down those to the cage. And I have some cages that I can, if I find a problem, I have some cages that I can separate the groups out. And by cage for me is not like the whole stack, it's the individual set.
Each unit. Cool. What about you, Jennifer?
Well, I have a variety of ways of doing it. So I use the hatching time stacks. Each one has a number, and then each row has a number, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have 1, 2, 3 for the cage numbers. So I, on my painter's tape, write down the cage stack number, the cage, all of the information, when it was set, and that stays in the brooder. All of my stuff is brooded separately, still in little tubs. And then After that, they can have wing bands, be marked like that as far as the quail are concerned. The chickens all have wing bands, and I have a Dropbox folder that each bird's wing band number has its own folder with its own weight, pictures, and yeah,
Right.
it's tedious.
Imagine. Anita, I know how you do yours, but go ahead and let everybody know.
Yeah, we have cage cards that we place with every group. We weigh, we select by weight and bird structure, and those tags follow them all the way through.
Cool. What about you, William?
Mine would have been by the cage and by the bird most commonly.
Cool. Aaron?
So I do everything pen and paper, and it basically their batch ID follows them all the way into their breeder cage. And I typically I'll grow out a larger group of quail at one time, and then I select my breeders from that group. Then they go into the breeder cage, and they end up with a tag, and the rest get butchered off. Whatever doesn't make the cut gets butchered off. It doesn't stick around to lay an egg or eat feed.
I'm pretty much the same as you. All right. Let's see. That one's for Blazing Gale. D says, that's what I thought. It sounded shady. This guy drives all over the state and picks up cheap soup chickens and resells them. Let's see. Andy Rabbit says, hello, Anita.
Hey, Andy.
Let's see. D says, question, can you share how you label your cages to keep track of your eggs? I mark them old whites, young whites, English whites, and so on. But the next generation, I don't have a name for. Start with you, Carrie.
So my breeder cages are all numbered, and on my Excel spreadsheet, it tells me what is in cage 1 all the way up through a ridiculously high number that I'm not sharing. And then from there, it's A, B, C, D. And then on the sheet, I know when the hatch date was for A, hatch date for B, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Jennifer?
Keep track of the sharing label the cages. Oh, so each one of my stacks has got a number. So, and it's on painter's tape on the water reservoir up top. So let's say it's cage 2, row 1. So it'd be 2, 1, whichever cage hole they're in, 1, 2, or 3 is how I do it. Now the celadons all have leg bands. The boys all have leg bands, so I can keep track of them that way. But they're the celadons are the only ones that get leg bands. Everybody else is just painter's tape, and the painter's tape can follow on the feed troughs, on just it's everywhere.
Dee says that she's using food color dye to lightly spray the whites that hatch on one level of the incubator to tell them apart from another level, like jumbo whites on one level, English whites on another. So maybe she was talking about in the incubator. Oh no, she did mention cages on the other one too.
I have small baskets for the hatcher, if that's the question.
Use different hatching baskets.
And then I have used livestock markers on the chickens, like blue on their combs and stuff if I need to.
Okay, where are we here? Do you guys want to do a giveaway in the chat room? HP told me to feel free whenever I want to do a giveaway to do one. So maybe we could give you guys some hatching eggs. If you're in the chat room, you want some hatching eggs, probably won't ship out till after the first of the year, but 10 minutes, okay. Go ahead and comment. What was it? GRQ? Go for Ridge Quail in the chat room, and yeah, we'll get you a line for some hatching eggs. Let's see. D says, I wrote names on index cards and clothespin on each cage, but that didn't last. Now I'm taping over the index card labels and putting it on like a page flap, so it's not in the way. Yeah, that's kind of like the benefit of your cards, huh, Anita?
Yeah, ours are laminated and we can write on them with Sharpie. Alcohol takes it off. So if something needs to be changed or it needs to move, we delete that pen. We can always reuse the cards. And we have a clip, like a badge clip attached. So they just clip to the wire. You can take them on and off if necessary.
Yeah, they work really well too.
You can order those from Anita. She has them on her website, and they work pretty nice. I've ordered from her a couple times.
Yep, I've got a bunch of them too that I use. Tater Farm says, so late. Merry Christmas, y'all, from Central Georgia. Glad you can join us. Bill Thompson says, store eggs are $6 or $7 a dozen here in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Yeah, they're actually, I saw it on the news the other day. They're saying that the reason that the price of eggs and chicken are up so much right now is one, the bird flu, and then I guess people had a lot of die-offs for some reason. I don't know if it was bird flu related or not, but I know they seem like they jumped up quite a bit just in a few months.
You know, most of us on this screen right now have a pet food section on our websites where you can order eaten eggs in bulk for your dogs. But, you know, we're not there to govern who you feed them to once you receive them.
Well, you know, I was going to ask you, are you going to get back into selling hatching eggs?
I may give some away. I don't think I'll go into the selling part anymore, Terry. That's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may give some away once I get settled in, but I'm not looking to make no money or sell eggs.
Right, I hear you. Promised Land Homestead says we're getting ready to get our aviary put together, and we run 3 breeder pens for now. Hopefully, we can get to selling them for meat. Cool. D says, I just remembered the metal J-type feeders have a place on the back of them for the cards. They're used on rabbit cages. Yeah, I've used them, that type, when I first started in quail. Let's see, Grifey2 says, hatching time cages, I know it's acceptable to have 1 breeding set per section. Is that cool? I was always, on my hatching time cages, I was usually putting like a 1:3 ratio in each individual unit, sometimes 1:4 if they were smaller birds. Jennifer, I know you use hatching time cages. What are you doing?
So up until this summer, I had each one, I kept the sections closed. Over the summer when it got hot, I opened all the sections up so they had the whole floor. And I think I only have 1 cage, 1 stack now that still is divided. So for the most part, they have the whole level now. But no, it's not cruel, but you don't want to overcrowd them. I mean, they still need to be able to move around. So,
Aaron, what type of a setup are you using for breeding?
I have a few of stacking homemade cages that are for my larger breeder sets, and then I have a hatching time and Winola Ranch.
Okay. What are you still using hatching time, William?
I've got a hatching time, yeah. Plus I got Winola and GQF and some homemade ones. I'd run 1 to 3 in the hatching times.
Yeah, it's about what I was running, or 18 for the whole floor, the whole top level. Okay, where are we here? Andy Rabbit says, I haven't priced store eggs since 2019, but oh my God. Yeah, it's crazy. Rebel says, question, 20s at night and 40s and 50s in the day here in Virginia. How well are the eggs fertilized in these conditions? Quail are in a shed and have light. We'll start with you, Carrie.
I mean, mine don't really care about the weather. I would say your biggest problem at the 20s is going to be getting that egg before it freezes. But if they're inside a shed, it probably doesn't get that cold at night. But as long as they have light and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, the temperature doesn't matter.
Jennifer?
I don't know. My barn's insulated. My birds are comfy in there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
You moved your birds outside, didn't you, Anita?
Yeah, we've moved outside. We don't have a problem. I mean, the eggs are freezing overnight. We haven't been able to even eat any for about a month now because we're getting down into the teens this past couple of weeks here. We are in Virginia, but if they're in a shed, you shouldn't have a problem if you, like they said, if you can get to them. We would keep one of those little oil heaters, oil circulating heaters, when we had them in the building, and it was basically in there just to keep the water from freezing. Everything else was just fine.
Okay, cool. What are your thoughts on that, William?
I'd say I agree. They'd be all right, I believe, especially if they're in an enclosure. I've got a lean-to barn out here. It's like 40 by 20, and I never had no problem with it here in Ohio.
I know you haven't had any problems in Louisiana. Have you, Aaron?
I was going to ask, what is 20 degrees?
I was going to say, Aaron doesn't even know what 20 degrees is like.
Yeah, right.
I do.
The older you get, the colder it gets, it seems.
When I left Jennifer's house, I had ice on my truck. I didn't know what I was doing.
Let's see. Big Tree Farms with Jennifer. Can you talk about the wing bands or about wing bands?
Well, I use zips, and they have a pointy end, and somewhere between 1 week and, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks is my ideal. I usually do it at 2 weeks. You don't want to waste them on anybody that's going to be weak, so you wait for a week or two. And if you wait too long, the skin's too tough. But there's a spot in their wing, in behind the ligament, but before the wing bow bone, and it's just 2 pieces of skin, and it's just like piercing your ears, and you just tuck it right through there, and they have a special pair of pliers that clips it shut. They're numbered. Mine even have my logo on them. I think they do that for free. I don't think it's extra. And they're color coded, and it's pretty nifty.
Oh.
Look, I'll say this. She's got a video on her YouTube channel about wing banding. And the first time I wing banded a bird, I was like, I'm fixing to kill it. It's going to bleed out. This thing's going to die. So I actually picked up a cull bird that I was going to try it out on first. And when I did it, I was like, I mean, it didn't even bleed. And I'm telling her about it, and she just died laughing. I'm like,
well, it was funny because he called me the same way I called Rebecca. Rebecca drove down here and showed me how to do it because I wouldn't do it the first time either. And so then when he called me, I was like, oh, well, that's how I felt when I made Rebecca come down here and do it.
While you guys are talking, you guys want to give Poultry Nerds a plug real quick? Tell us a little bit about it.
Poultry Nerds is so much fun. It's our new podcast, me and Carrie, and we have met some of the most fun people, the most educated people, and groups. And I mean, we've learned so much. I think more than we ever thought, talking chickens. And who would have ever thought that so many people would actually listen to it? We checked it about a week and a half ago, and we're ranked number 3 in the country on poultry podcasts already this year, and it's only our first year.
Yeah, so, that's impressive.
Aaron's been on twice.
They'll take just about anybody.
Hey.
You had me twice.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I mean, I've learned a lot. We have an episode where we dug really, really deep into the respiratory system.
Mm-hmm.
We've got one coming up where we had somebody that does a lot of necropsies.
Necropsies.
Yeah, that word. I struggle with English from time to time. But she does a lot of those, and she gets pretty detailed with them, and on their website they've got a lot of pictures and video and stuff. So I've learned a lot about some really in-depth things, and I also had a whole lot of fun. We laugh and we tell the painful truth and everything else.
I will have to say that the one with that he's talking about how it's called How Do Birds Breathe. I had a customer, I think in Virginia, and I had sent some celadons to, and he emailed me back a question, and I saw his signature on the email, and I was like, oh, and I pounced on him, and I'm sure he's sorry he emailed me now, but he was a great guest. It turned out he was a avian anesthesiologist.
Oh, wow.
And he's like certified in 6 countries or something. I mean,
Something
it's crazy.
like that.
And he came on there and the whole time he's talking and I was sitting there like this, like I totally forgot my outline and everything because it was so interesting and in depth. But so we've also created a website, and it's actually building out and kind of turning into the Poultry Nerds library. We're starting to add more educational stuff on there. So it's just a growing thing.
Cool. I'm gonna have to check it out. I haven't really looked into it much.
Well, we put your logo on there. You should check it out.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't know you put my logo on it.
Yeah,
now you made me feel guilty.
I should make you feel guilty. Yeah, the Coturnix Corner Kids is on the homepage, and you haven't even bothered to look at it yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of bad like that.
Yeah.
Anything for the kids, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Jennifer says you started the whole thing now. What is that? The GRQ?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to let HP in on that one. D says I have water glassed so many quail eggs in quart jars, probably 15 cases of 12 quarts each. Wow.
That's
Enjoy
a lot.
your dinner. Let's see. Andy Rabbit says for rabbits, some people use canning jar lids to write on, punch a hole in the lid and put an S hook to hang and can be moved to other cages as needed. Andy also commented something about we should do a show. Where's it at? Maybe y'all should come back on one day and do a show on show your cage cards identification.
Mine would be a roll of tape around my wrist and a Sharpie.
Let's see here. Big Tree Farm says, what single aspect of your quail business do you find to be the most profitable? Okay, Carrie, we're going to start with you again. Tell us about all that big money you're making.
When it happens, you'll know it because you won't see me. Probably feeders.
Feeders. Jennifer?
Probably the hatching eggs. But I mean it all fits together.
Right.
You know. But yeah, the hatching eggs.
Where are you making your money at, Anita?
Right now, just off the website because we're not shipping hatching eggs. But when we were full steam, live chick sales did the best for us.
Yeah. William?
I didn't make much money on them. Now, I think mine was local live birds.
Yeah.
Locally selling live birds, calls.
What about you, Aaron?
So I'm a little bit opposite of everyone else. First off, what is profit?
Right.
So I don't sell any live birds at all. Not a chick, not an adult, nothing live. My primary source of income is meat, whether it be human consumption or animal consumption.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Also,
when I had
he's making all the money then. Don't let him kid him.
Eggs,
Yeah, right.
I'm probably sitting about 4% profit on eggs.
When I had most of my birds, it was usually live bird sales that was pretty much feeding all my other birds. I really never got into hatching egg sales, some local egg sales, but mostly live bird sales.
For me, I enjoy the hatching egg aspect of it, even though the profit's not high, but the customer interaction. Everything else is commercial sales, so they really don't want to talk to you. They don't want to ask questions. It's very impersonable. They just want to get their quail and leave. So hatching egg sales, I mean, of course, it's a pain in the butt sometimes with, if you got a bad hatch rate or a bad customer, but those good customers definitely stand out a lot more, and I appreciate all those good customers and the interaction I can have with that, the education of it,
Okay, I'm going to skip over the ones that are talking to other people. D says, I have an overabundance of chickweed growing in the garden. Does it have much nutritional value to feed the quail? Harry, you want to take that one?
Let's see. I would not. I don't do stuff like that. I may give mine grass clippings and stuff like that, not for any kind of nutritional value, because there is some, but it's not a lot that's measurable, and it really depends on your grass and the condition it's in and what kind it's in and all that mess. That's something you give like you give a kid some candy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Terry, if I could. So I'm against feeding anything that doesn't come in a bag to quail, especially something in the wild. And Carrie and Jennifer know how I feel about this. So what if a wild duck or some other wild bird pooped on it, walked on it, then you turn around, you feed it to your birds? That's a biosecurity risk.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
No, exactly.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that.
No, it's a good idea. You're thinking about your birds. Okay, let's see where we at here. All Out of Spoon says, "What's the general feeling on the Winola ranch cages? Looking to upgrade to one of their stackers, but they are a bit confusing on the options for a more newbie breeder." Who said they had Winola Ranch? William, you said you had them?
I've got Winola Ranch. But I think the GQF cages are probably the most sturdiest that I've purchased out of all of them. But I like the Winola cages.
Anybody else have Winolas?
I have Winolas, and the best newbie one I would say would be the 3-tier. You get a lot of value for your dollar on the 3-tier, and I think it's probably the best. That way you can fill up 2 levels. I think the 3-tier comes with 1 divider, and then the other 2 cages are separate, so you can have your hospital cage as well.
Okay, cool. Do they have like removable dividers also?
Yeah, you can remove the dividers.
Okay, cool.
Just if you order Winola, be ready. It'll from the date you order to the date you get it, it'll be about 24 days.
All right, let's see. D says, I'm using quail pen to heat my greenhouse. Their little bodies generate a lot of heat, and the wind flow is into the greenhouse on the backside with a slit cut for airflow. Good idea. Wow, here's a name I haven't seen in a while. Hannah Bishop's in the house. Merry Christmas, everyone. Just looked at my phone and saw there was a live. Yeah, it was kind of a last minute thing, Hannah, but and the last one of the year. Let's see. Mr. Mata says, "Hi, I purchased jumbo eggs from Double R Farms a few months back, and I was expecting to get birds from 14 to 16 ounces. My heaviest bird with 13 ounce. Did I do something wrong on my part? Thanks. GRQ." Go ahead, Carrie.
For that, I would need to have Mr. Mata shoot me an email with a picture of your feed tag. Mm-hmm. To achieve those optimum weights, you're going to have to be feeding an optimum feed. And I'm curious to know what the vitamin, amino acid, and the fat content is of the feed that you're feeding.
You also need to know what kind of cage. If he's got them aviary style, they could be running them off.
Yep. If they're aviary.
That's one thing I've noticed this year. After putting all my birds out in the aviary, they don't seem to be obtaining the weights that my birds that were caged inside, are.
Because they exercise more.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and they do. They look really healthy, but they're firm little birds instead of the big fat potatoes I'm used to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at here? Hash says, yo, and I don't know. It's talking about drywall at my grandma's house. Oh, doing drywall at my grandma's house. Okay. Glad you could join us, by the way. Dee says, did you know there's a tiny chicken that comes from Mexico? It's just a little bigger than a jumbo quail. Neighbors brought me one that they rescued. It had a metal leg band. I did not know that.
Yeah, and I don't know that I would publicize a whole lot that somebody smuggled a chicken from Mexico in for you. That might not go over real well.
Right. Okay, let's see what we got here for a question. 340 Quail Farms. This question for bachelor cages. What are the tips that you all use to keep them from killing each other? I try to keep it dark, but it's not always effective. Let's start with Aaron.
All right, so 340 Quail Farm is Tim. Tim, I do the same thing. Keep it dark. Make sure they have a lot of feeder space. We're talking about an inch per quail minimum. That's where a lot of people mess up. So if they have too much space, they'll fight, and if they don't have enough space, they'll fight. So you're gonna have to find your perfect happy medium that works for you. I pile them in shoulder to shoulder because they're only going to be living in there for a week and a half to 2 weeks, and I really don't have any aggression issues because they've never been exposed to a hen. And I think that if they've been exposed to a hen, and I mean everyone else might not agree, but I think once they've been exposed to hen and they are sexually mature, that's when your aggression really kicks in.
No, I agree with that 100%. I had the same thing. I would always keep my roosters either out of sight or out of earshot of my hens, and I've never had problems with them. Every once in a while I'll get one rooster that wants to beat up on everybody, but for the most part, I haven't had any aggression issues like that. What do you do, William?
I'm about like that, but I don't keep it dark. I kind of pack them in though. When I had extra males, like he said, I'm just feeding them out. They won't last long. I could probably remember having 2 times maybe having issues with aggression on the males over all the years. So I've been pretty fortunate.
Well, what do you do, Anita?
Same thing. We when our breeder cages were inside, our bachelor pad was outside. So when we were culling them off and separating them out, they went outside, shoulder to shoulder. We had very little aggression with them.
Okay. Jennifer?
Yep, my boys go into the bottom row, so it's the darkest, and I pile them in there because they're not going to be there long, and you need the space, which is why you're piling them in there. So, yeah.
What about you, Carrie?
I do what Jennifer does. I'll pile them in the lower levels because it's darker, and I will pile them in there. And when that doesn't work, nitrogen works pretty well.
Gets rid of all aggression.
Let's see. We didn't have any more questions, so I'm going to find someone to give some eggs to. Dave B., you're still in the house. You're going to get a 30 count of hatching eggs from GRQ, Gopher Ridge Quail. So if you would, send me your shipping information to Terry at, let's see if I can spell this right. Terry at coturnixcorner.com. Make sure you give me a good shipping address, good email, and a good phone number. And I'll get that over to HP. And most likely the hatching eggs won't go out till after the first of the year. So, but congratulations anyhow, Dave. All right. That brings us down to the bottom of the list. And guys, it's after 8 o'clock and my wife's telling me that dinner's ready and we kind of got to spend a little time together at night. So, and I'm getting hungry. So, first off, I want to say thanks to all our guests that showed up tonight. I really appreciate it. You guys are welcome back anytime on the show when we start doing shows again. This is probably, like I say, is going to be the last Tuesday show until after the first of the year. Once I get some regular guests set up, then we'll go ahead and start scheduling new shows for that. So anybody else want to make a quick comment before we pull the plug on this one?
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Merry
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas.
everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for
Merry
in,
Christmas.
Buck.
Absolutely. You guys are welcome anytime. And we're going to go ahead and close the show out with the intro thing, because it's kind of Christmassy and we got a lot of new faces in there that we finally added. So everyone have a great Christmas, Merry Christmas, safe holidays, New Year's and all that stuff. And we'll see you on the next live stream. Oh, I guess I ought to start it over. Duh. There we go.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime and jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in the one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingling feet. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell chime and jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in the one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle